Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. Fantastic Mr. Ghost, where I have some howling puppies. I didn't cover this, I just had to end that episode. It was a bear building this build here to get these little howling puppies. And I love it. They've got two eating right here. And then there was some scattered about here, just wagging their tails. Ha! And then they've got one over here. I think he's chilling. He's not doing anything. And then it looks like they've got like an alpha, maybe. And then maybe two other alphas howling. Or it's some kind of dominance thing going on. Where he's up high and these two are down low. And they're like, hey, well, we're the ones, you know. So, yeah, I wanted to showcase this. It was funny as you know what. I love these things here. And now that we have a new animal, it goes in the train that goes nowhere. As promised, I hooked up the rendering part of this build, and I've got a little belt trickery going on here, some belt trickery. So let's get into this. First, I want to flow it. Boom, there we go. Now the trick here is all the meat and guts and skin and whatever goes this way. And because we're not using the pelts, but I want to stockpile those, I have a system here that, right here. The pelts are prioritized towards the case, as you can see. And now when this builds up, the priority is now to the other side. And they join with the meat and the brains and all the other stuff we don't need. Now I just realized that I should set this input for this case here. This is just a distribution case. If the case down here has 200 dingrat spikes, I don't want to keep rendering because then this case will fill up. The reason I use the big case is, well, it just fit better and I have more options for inputs and outputs. So the big cases work really well. And this belt goes all the way over here. Oh, you know what? I should do this. I was a little concerned about the amount of meat that I'm going to be generating from that, but I don't think I'm going to have to worry too much, so I'll probably switch out. Let's do this one here, too. I'll switch out the yellow to red. Yeah, so let's do that. So this is the TSM pickup for the extra body parts, and, oh, it looked like I had a cage in there because of this part here. And now, these will refill this case here, which, you know, provides all the meat and guts and bones for the food. So it's kind of an interesting little thing. I could probably do it better and more cleaner, but it would have to. I need more room, basically. One thing I like about Red Belt is it spans these gigantic machines, and if I didn't span it with Red Undergrounds, I should say, this would have been a nightmare. And what I did here was I looped around and with the food and the bedding here, so I'm doing a loop. My main goal was to minimize the Skondrix belt and the Dingrat output belt. That was why I did it this way. There was a reason for all the undergrounds and stuff. Otherwise, I would have not cared as much. But because the Skondrix build is so slow, I was trying to minimize that craziness. What is this? Well, that's better. So there we go. We got the Dingrat spike finally, and I have this set to 200. It has a set filters on it, so I can get the pelt. The pelt comes in later on, and we use it directly in other processes. The pelt gets, believe it or not, you skin it and take the fur. I think it's the fur, and you use it for another process. So these Dingrats become, the pelt becomes a part of some other chemical or biological processes, which is crazy. But for now, because we need the spike, we'll leave this here. And then if we need more pelts, then it might be a Dingrat spike, or it would be a Dingrat render only, focusing on the pelts. And then the spike would have to be rendered or something. I don't know. This is kind of a weird, it's going to be an interesting logistical challenge because you have two items that are needed, you know, out of a process. So I tend to do two builds and one prioritizes the other. it's just, you have to do it, especially when you're building, because building doesn't always use the base as intended. I've already had to run the augs to get, believe it or not, blood, because I was running out of blood, and then I ran out of biomass. Let me show you what I did. So as you can see, the biomass is way down, 8,000. That's not a lot. Usually this case is jammed. So because wood generates a ton of biomass, I got this supplemental biomass build here. I'm bringing wood in and creating biomass, simply put. So over here by the body parts area, this is where I filter out, and I'm saving all these parts. Now I could have a fur pickup here, but I might as well just keep it where it's at. So there could be, I probably have to rebuild this now that I have these new parts. I foresaw this coming. I'm like, well, this is gonna do for now. But having a body parts sorting area is kind of important. So I might have to do a dingered spike and a fur here if I do the two, builds that are prioritized either way. But we'll see. I might be able to make it work just from here. Bring the pelts in, stockpile the pelts and the spike here. But I want a dedicated spike build for sure, I guess. So I'll have to think about this. But the way I'd have to do it is I'd have to cut another belt in, and this one would probably go directly to the case here and get composted. So like I said, this whole area, it's been kind of getting messy, and every new animal has a new part, and you have to deal with it. So I'll probably expand on this and redo it. Another thing too, later on we get some really weird tech where it's focused on a body part, like the lard or brains or whatever. And the process for that is really scary. But I look forward to it because then all this kind of mess, like all this mess here, goes away to a certain degree. We're still going to have to sort body parts, but we can create body parts that are deficient. And you might have to integrate it with the system for collecting body parts. And then you have a system that supplements any losses or, things that drop below a threshold. So that's something way later, though. For now, we got to do a sort. Shutting, baby. There we go. We're going to do the Coralex MK02. I don't want to spend too much time on this, obviously. These are just spin-ups of something we already have. Can I get the power? There we go. I guess I'll put it here. And then, pipes are in the way. Not much I can do about it. Oh, maybe I'll go over here. There we go. That way I can get that inserted there. So I come to realize these genetic cells, I already have them being made down here for the moss right here. And I didn't want to pipe this all the way up. Oh, I have to go way up here. I'm just better off just putting the machine. Now, one thing about power, notice how it says minimum consumption, 66 kilowatts. So as you add machines, your power floor goes up. But the machine isn't running, so yeah, more machines is kind of bad. But on the other hand, I got plenty of power, so I'm not worried about it. Now, so I just decided, let me just throw this in here, get the Coralex MK02 spin up, done. When it comes to later on, MK03 stuff coming up, once you get Pi Science 3 done, you get new stuff. I think the next science pack opens up new machines. Don't quote me on that. So, I just, just do it here. Here's this thing here. I need retrovirus. Why are you not bringing... I could have swore I had retrovirus here. Let me check. Well, there we go. I guess I wasn't requesting it, so we'll get that in here. Probably the first time I've ever had to do it. Because, yeah. Oh my god, this place is a mess. Oh, the plan here, though, I've got this block here that I'm willing to build on. I don't mind having the bot network going north. Same thing for this one. But the MK03s of the machines, I'm going to have to rebuild the whole hub. And that's fine, because what I'm going to do is retrofit MK1 through 4, or put 1, 2 in 3, then retrofit for 4. Because I didn't do that here. This is just 1 to 2. And, you know, there's so much going on. Oh my god, it's crazy. The hub's going to be nuts for the MK03, then 4. And then when it comes to creatures, I imagine it's going to have a larger footprint over time as you unlock creatures that, or plants that, you know, require, here's my example here, is you need the 1 for the 2, which I can train in here, the 1. 2 to 3, 3 to 4. This here is a placeholder for 4, by the way, if you're wondering why there's 2 here. And, you know, here's the Bodos. I'm not committed to this space here, by the way. So, yeah, the level 4 requires 3, 3 requires 2. And these are the exceptions. Now, based on the animals, for example, the cotton guts over here and the ulrichs, this is an example of animals more predominantly. You need to get that percent chance to get that better breed, and then once you get enough for the process, whatever that is, then you basically dismantle your MK1. In this case, when we get to 3s, we should be able to dismantle the 2s or switch the machines over. There's new ingredients and all these other things. That's why the biohub could expand in size based on the fact that there's more complexity, more parts, you know, things like that. So I kind of look at it as the biohub's going to get bigger, yes, but not as big as the actual hub, you know, the machine hub. So there we go. We got the retrovirus now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's look at this machine. Ah, there we go. Bam. So there's the 4 that I got last episode while I was building. And cDNA, obviously, bioscaffold is the chitin. I may have to run the Vraux to get this completed, this project here. The only thing we're missing is the stem cells, the pluripotent. Now, what I did over here is I set the Coralex. This is the compiled Coralex codex. So the next level of some of these animals that use the printers there, the bioprinters, they require a neural processor in the codex from the MK01 version of the animal. So, of course, I'm not going to go over the neural processors. It's big. It'll take me 15 minutes. So we combine these two here, and we get the the combined or compiled Coralex codex there. And then I have them here. I need 68 to upgrade both Coralex builds with MK02 Coralexes. So I got them sitting in here. I went ahead and prepped that up and got that going. So now we just got to do the sugar cube. So let's get cracking on that. Yummy sugar. All right, let's make some MK02 space cows. Pluripotent stem cells. Yeah, I guess the virus and the exogenic cells and sugar. I guess the sugar's like a food or something for these little guys here. Okay, there's that. Oh, how much do we need of this? Oh, okay, it's 2 crafts. There we go. See, I told you. This is so slow. And you're not, you know, this isn't meant to be production. You know, you set this up, walk away. Unless it's like so slow, then you might have to beef it up like the Ulrichs. I had to, you know, engineer a faster thing with the slower thing. So there we go. I like this. I like this machine though. It is pretty cool. It's printing animals right now with all the. Now, what's cool is that it takes the. I guess, you know, you're taking the MK02s and it's just, I don't know, I guess it's breaking it down, getting the DNA material or the information, and then with the codex being compiled, you know, it's a higher end, you know, so you need that higher end technology to break it down and then recombine it into a better form of this animal. Plus, you know, of course, you need the oh yeah, and the bioscaffolds for the bone structures and all that, right? Animal sample is general other DNA from other animals, maybe. I'm not too sure. This said, okay, cDNA often used to clone Ah. Also transfer genes between species because science. There you go. Very cool. Now, there's nothing here. I'm sure there's some kind of flavor text on these. Maybe somewhere around. Well, you probably just have to Google it. Very cool. All right, let's turn that back on. I feel lost without alt mode on. So there we go. All right, now what happens is this will go through its process, and we get the extra one. Oh, and then on this side, I didn't cover this here. I have this inserter set to 1, and, oh, override stack size for 1 to match that. This is the past, so 5 come out, and that's all that's coming out here, so you don't need to do any filters. This case here, I've limited to 50. I might do 2. I need 68 total. I have 2 breeders with 4, or no, 1 breeder with 4, and the rest I have 8 of the easy squeeze milking whatever things, and that's, I think, 32. So 32 times 4 plus 4 is 68. So that's what I want here. But yeah, so the output is 5, but the 4 have to be used back for the process. Why does it say 1 in there? It has 1? Oh, it went through a craft already. Is that right? Yeah, it's going to start collecting the... Yeah, so I'll have more than what I need. And there we go, see? So now we have 2 extra, see? So I can take these 2 right now and upgrade something. Not that I'm going to do it. So the collection, if you're really, want to get this done, wait for the craft, then pull what's in the machine that's extra on top of what's in the case. Don't take the 4, obviously, because it won't run. So while it's running, there's 4 in here. And so we have 6 now total. I like this process. It's so much nicer, but it does take a while, and there is some setups. Okay, now, let's go over here. Oh, if you haven't noticed, I have concreted this whole damn thing, mainly because I'm doing so much running around, and I like concrete and stuff. I want to do some other colors and stuff. Eventually I will, but not right now. Now, we got this stuff. We're back here now, and next episode, really quick, we have the requirement here for the augs. So we have the sugar. This stuff, this is a seed extract. We'll cover this next episode. We have to have 4 seed builds for this. Not a big deal. It's just basically plop, plop, plop. Okay, there you go. This is going to be I think, I want to say the seed extract. I'll have to look in FNEI and find out what these are used for. Maybe it's just the syrup I'm going to need, whatever this crap is. The energy drink, I don't know. It might be a trainable item because we might need it for the augs going forward. So I'll research that and see what's going on there. And then we'll train in whatever we need, we'll train in for the MK02 aug upgrades. Most likely I'll have a bootstrap by one of the aug builds, like the rendering one. So now that we have the sugar cube out of the way, ooh, I could take this stuff out of here. All this. So we got the seed extract, the syrup, and then the bubbly drink. And then these 2 here will be, the aug buildup, aug MK02s. So let's take a look here. What I was thinking about doing is knocking this out, the magnetic beads. And, everything is here. It is a real simple one. So we'll set that up. The agar is no big deal. I'll do that. I want to say, oh boy. Well, pretty much everything is doable here. We've got the Dingrit spike now for this. Everything. I have everything now. This one here, oh, the Bodos, yeah. That'll be another story there. So this will be last, most likely. Let's check this thing out here. Yeah, so I have to do the ethylene glycol. I do believe I have ethanol. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't think it's difficult. I don't remember it being a difficult thing. So this one is probably second. So we'll do the beads. Dingrit, whatever that is. That's last. This one. Now, this one requires all 3 of what we're doing up here. So, yeah, we need the beads for this, for that. So, what is this thing? The binding thing. And then also the chimeric protein. Okay, so beads for these 2. All right. Okay, so, yeah, let's get the beads done. Look at them fancy beads. Heck yeah. That wasn't too bad. Magnetic beads for the win. They're pretty cool looking. Oh, wow. So yeah, I guess they were like stirring, you know, they put them on the bottom of a beaker, and there's a hot plate, and it has a spinning magnet in there. And the beads, well, I don't know if the beads, they're saying magnetic beads. Usually you have a magnet, and there's a motor on there. You turn it on to a certain speed, and it agitates the fluid, keeps it mixed, you know, because you have separation in fluids, and you don't want the fluid to separate. So that, you know, and then you grab the beaker, you pour, whatever. So that's what those are for. There we go. I mean, it's interesting that there's agar in this. I don't understand the agar part. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. Well, there we go. We got that project down. Woohoo! All right, folks, we're ready for the, well, one of 3 items for these Arqad things, which we need this for. Mutant enzymes that we have to barrel up for our Arqad MK02s. Oh, of course, we need coal. We got the moon drop, did that a while ago, and then the maggots. Well, I'm probably going to train the magnets up here. So, that's what we're going to do. Anyway, I miscalculated. I don't know what I was thinking. My little Corlex buddies over here. Why are you? Oh, they're running. Yeah. So, I got 9 plus 8. Yeah, I don't know why I brain farted on this. Corlexes, they're next to the bees. They are here. Yeah. So, I took these out. So, it's 32... times 4 times 2 plus 4. That's okay. See, I got these upgraded. That's the number. Yeah, I brain farted on that. I don't know why I was thinking 2 here. I think I was thinking 32 for the whole thing. Yeah, it's actually 32 for 1. Yeah, there we go. So that's done. Oh, by the way, I upgraded the Kite-Calc builds, and I forgot to look at this thing. Now, a while back, I truncated it because I was a little freaked out about the power requirements on these MK2 machines. And I upgraded this to MK02 Kite-Calcs, but not the MK02 plantations. Well, now everything is MK02. You know, plantations, everything. So, max rate calculator. Oh, I don't want those. Let's go here. Bop. Now, I'm down on water. Oh, I gotta upgrade the water. Okay, I'm glad I looked at that. Now, the seeds are down. So, I was gonna address this later on, but the fiber I thought was gonna be a huge, huge thing. And I think it was because I was wanting to get off of coal power. It's not a big deal to get off coal power right now. We're looking at crazy nuclear power probably next. And the ash goes to, you know, obviously no ash. Well, you need ash for the trees, for science, and all that. So the Kite-Calcs are going to be for ash production. And I could make an ash producer off of this, you know, over here somewhere, whatever. I don't know. I want it, Kite-Calc to ash. I don't want to train frickin', you know, fiber around for ash. So, yeah, I got to look at that one. And then I got one over here, way down here. And again, this was in contemplation of the, oh, look at that. It's a train there. Let's see. Yeah, same thing here. Same thing here. I don't know why I didn't look at the water. You know what? I know what happened. I increased this, and I forgot to do this. So I could pop the water extractor or whatever, pump jacks. I could pop them over here, you know, along the line there. And then I'll have to, this one I can put here, you know, easy peasy, like so. And then the belt, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I've been trying to, you know, do the power too. These Nexalit power poles are kind of a pain because they'll connect. Oh, I hate that. They're going to fix that in Factorio 2.0 where the power poles just don't, you know, they don't connect in 3 ways. If you make a connection, there's a Friday fix on it. If you make a connection, it doesn't, this one here, power pole, I guess they got some code where it senses, oh yeah, this is already connected, so don't connect this way. And it has to be a certain distance away, or you see how it's like, oh, now I'll go. So they fix that, and instead of it being a distance thing, it's a is it connected thing plus the distance, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's get started on this sucker right here. And I prepped the area, and then we'll end the episode. I think here it is right here. So all I got to do is it's going to be case to machine to loading. It's a real simple one. Boom. We'll take that up. And then, oh, yeah. I don't have ethanol. And the only place I have ethanol is the chemical science. And it's in there, you know, hard-coded in there, or well, hardwired, or whatever you want to call it. It's not too bad. The B-type molasses is using tufras. So now I'm thinking, yeah, a tufra build trainable for the little potato things, the space potatoes here, because I have it going now to 2 places. This will be 3. I'm planning on, I don't know, I'm thinking about doing a specific ethanol build. That way, maybe I can circle back around to the chemical science, or the, nuclear sample for chemical science. I'll rip that out and just train in the ethanol from that point. And then this stuff here, the ethylene glycol, this is for the complex circuit, but it's for the wafer. I think it's the P-type. Let me check. Yeah, it's right here. This little guy right here. That's it. And over here, see, it's heavily N. HN is heavily N there. And it's this stuff. These are MK1s. Believe it or not, I didn't feel the need to upgrade this because this is way overbuilt for this thing. So it's used for the chimeric proteins here that we're gonna do. Dow froth 250. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. Oh, antimony stuff. Oh, purified natural gas. I'm not sure what we use that for. I could dive into it, but oh wow, look at this drilling fluid type 3. Holy cripes, man. This could be a trainable item, but I want to get this bee stuff done. So, well, I'm tempted to just keep it all local, you know, and just training stuff in, be done with it, because I just want to get these bees done. All right, let's get cracking. Well, there we go. We got this one. Holy crap. We got our dingret teeth. You know, I think they just throw stuff in here to make it complex. You know, it's like, yeah, throw a tooth in there, and then we'll have forced to do this enormous build for these animals and all this. Oh, I screwed up, and I requested nichrome. We need chromium. They are kind of like, one's tilted a little bit, and, you know, silverish gray, and the chromium's a little more shiny. So, yeah, it's kind of easy to screw up there. Bone meal. Oh, and then, you know, of course, it needs 10 plastics, so 10 times the amount of the laboratory equipment. So you need more of one thing versus another. Obviously, this would be a 2 unloader, you know, where you unload. I would request bone meal, maybe glassware, and plastic bar, maybe sea sponge to 1 case. And then the onesies, you know, you just do 100 of those. But then you do 500 or 400 of the other ones. But, you know, as you get crazier and crazier in these builds, when you got 8 items or more, or 5 items or more, it's more about just, you know, you got one machine, it'll get done, you know. Hey, there's bone meal. Speaking of the dingrets, let's go over here. This is how big this build got. Oh, I'm going to move this rail over here. This was temporary because I didn't know how much space I needed for this stuff here. So I'm going to cut the rail in probably here and then curve it in. And then I'm experimenting with a tighter rail system here. I could probably back this up a little more. That way I get tighter and there's less dead space because the the angle ones that I'm using like this, there's a lot of dead space here, and I don't want that. You know, like here is all dead space. I could pop a little small builds in here. I could even sneak the rail down this way. You know, there's things you can do if I wanted to maximize the space. I got these cotton guts. I could build something here, over here. You know, it's just being creative and being aware. This one here, I'd probably do that. I'd probably follow suit with this type rail system just to keep it, you know, friendly on the eyes there. This, I gotta redo that cursed rail there. So anyway, yeah. So we got the, oh, let's check our pups here real quick. I want to see how they're doing. We only got 3 running here. What is going on? See, this is what I'm talking about. Hellmod, I said, hey, I want this many little teeth or spikes. So it said 2 of these here. Now, it may change where it starts to draw more in, you know. We'll see. Let's see how our Scondrix is. Yeah, 1 is running here. Yeah, so I could probably do some more slaughterhouses. I'm not worried about it. The Scondrixes were kind of a pain because you don't know how many of the cages you need. So as you can see, it's empty right now, and that's fine. As they become available, then we get the Scondrixes, you know. So as long as this is a little too far, I don't want that. Yeah, it's okay, but I would have rather had the Scondrixes around here somewhere. But it worked out. I'm okay with it. Oh, I'm doing a test here. I still have a lot. Yeah, look at this. I did rip up this belt of the Tufras because I thought, you know, well, maybe, as you can see, it's only running those 2 slaughterhouses and it's not really tapping the build that hard yet. So I have a feeling that this is okay. But I probably will do a Tufra build because, like I said, it's going in different places now. And it might, most likely, what I'm going to do, because there's a lot of, I was thinking about this, there's a lot of common materials with the farming, you know. You've got sand, gravel, you've got, you know, the coarse faction, and the soil, right? Soil and limestone are easy. You just plop the machines down, feed water, done. But you got gravel, sand, not necessarily stone. There might be some other ones that I'm missing. I can't remember offhand. Then you got the this is manure bacteria here. That's used quite a bit for farming. So what you want to do is maybe pick up I could do a big block, like, you know, cut this rail, just do a straight here and a T up and a T down. And you have a big farming location where you bring in maybe you just bring in stone. But stone doesn't stack very high. That's the thing, 50. Now gravel and sand stack to 200. So it'd be kind of nice to do a stone build, stone to gravel and sand, and then train that stuff because you could pack more on a train, you know, but the loading takes forever. I would probably do dual-sided loading where you got 2 cases on the side of a train and then you just jam, you got 12 mini loaders going into one train because it takes a long time. But after doing this build here, I'm like, well, look at this, man. I could do this stuff. So I like to have the farming within the build, like I said, because then I know it's factored for that build, but it gets redundant. And I'm like, man, I really don't like redundancies. So instead of, well, maybe I should drive the fruit and vegetables and plants and all these alien plants around, you know? So I don't know. I'm considering that, and, you know, it might be beneficial overall, but then again, it could be 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Well, you're either training sand and salt, or sand and gravel, stone maybe, you know, whatever, around versus the plants. So you're kind of, it's a smaller set of items you're training around, you know, and it's, like I said, it stacks higher. So, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, hi, train. What are you doing? Get out of here. So we're missing, oh, sea sponges and plastic. Okay. All right, so there's our first ingredient for this peptide. What is this thing? The peptide, whatever. Propeptides, yeah. So now we're ready to go. It's gonna get tougher the next couple here. So I'll see you in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace out.